797.
By the way, how long before one of your teammates is going to try that Spurgeon move on the ice?
I think I have two teammates that are even remotely close to capable of accomplishing it. How long until someone tries it?
In a game. Not in practice.
Because we don't practice. We have 3 minutes to skate around before the game.
Right. In those 3 minutes, everyone's going to try it.
I will try it within the first 30 seconds of being on the ice.
Yeah.
If you didn't see the Spurgeon goal, and it's one of the reasons why hockey is the sport that more often than not makes me say, wow. I wouldn't say it's my favorite sport, but I do enjoy the hockey. But hockey players will do things that make me say, wow, at a more frequent rate than other sports. I say it all the time.
You know what's going to happen is that someone will try it in the game. They're going to miss. They're going to hit somebody else with a stick, and it's going to start some brawl.
Yep.
You're going to come into work with a black eye and a broken hand.
I wear a cage.
And Daddy's going to have to pick up the pieces.
The helmet doesn't come off. The gloves, I don't drop the gloves. There's not going to be any brawling going on. There's cheap shots all the time, but there's no actual brawling. I can't remember the last time in our beer league that two guys actually squared off and fought. In fact, I'm not sure it's...
Would they allow that actually in your league?
I would be fascinated to see what the officials would do, because these guys skating around there making, $20 a game probably aren't all that compelled to hop in between two guys fighting. You know what I mean? It's not like NHL refs where it's their salary.
Right, but the guy, I imagine if you're a referee, one of the reasons you're a ref is because you like the power. And, if you step in, try to break it up, and if they don't, then you can exude the power by filing a report.
I do not imagine that too many refs in our league are exhilarated by the power. I think they're doing it for the $20 or whatever it is they get paid. I don't know what you get paid for.
Hey, man, I just need beer money after this is done.
I think they're just motivated to make like hockey. They like to skate. They make a little extra cash on the side. Anyway, so you can check it out for yourself. The highlight of the Jared Spurgeon goal, who's a defenseman, by the way, for the Minnesota Wild, caught a puck out of the air and then did the baseball thing, threw it to a stick and hit it out of the air. It's pretty awesome. You can see it on our Twitter account at DougieGator971. And you can also answer the question, what sport makes you say wow more than any other? Gator, Ken Holland, the Red Wing GM, spoke on TSN 690 in Canada. We played the soundbite earlier. Maybe we'll get to that as well. But one of the questions that people ask us all the time is, why don't the young guys get more ice time? Here's what he had to say.
And I also think that when you're like Jeff Blash and I talk about this quite often, Henrik Zetterberg is an example. He's built up stock. It's like you're in a company. When you build up stock and you have an off night, all the stock you've built up allows you to have those nights when, as a veteran player, that you maybe have an off night. When you're a young player, you can't have off nights because you don't have that stock built up. You haven't done enough to help the team win through times.
The player we get asked about more than any other over the last couple of years is Athanasiou. I've talked to people in the Red Wings organization about him and outside the Red Wings organization about him. What I was told about Athanasiou is, and I thought the most interesting thing that was said was somebody outside the organization, was more about, would he go to the places on the ice you need to go to win hockey games? Yeah. Oh, he's fast. Yeah, he can get down the ice in a hurry. Yes, he can be spectacular with the puck. But when it's called for, will he go into the corner in his own zone and dig the puck out and make the right pass when a game is tied late? Or will he lose the battle in the corner and eventually give up the game-winning goal? Athanasiou's ice time has always been near the bottom in terms of the Red Wings, although he's starting to get more as time goes on. But he made stuff happen when he was out there.
Yeah, he's a guy who, in the last, since January started, he's been getting a lot more ice time, 14, 15 minutes a game. On the season, he's only averaged 12 minutes. I mean, there were times that he would play less than 10, 7 minutes a game in a couple instances. But he's got to be more consistent. Well, he's shown it in the new year. He's definitely shown it, and he's a plus player for this team that is struggling to find plus players. I'm actually startled to see that Zetterberg is the one that leads the team in on ice for forwards anyway. He averages over 19 minutes a game as a forward. No one else is even close as a forward. And Zetterberg has played much better in the last 2 months of the season. And they need to get as much out of him as they can, but it looks like he's actually kind of revitalized playing with Mantha and Nyquist. They look good together out there.
Yeah, I mean, Athanasiou has been a guy that's been I don't know if he's been motivated by the bench, but his play and what he has done sometimes has dictated him, not playing. And whatever. I mean, you push the buttons you need to push early in a guy's career so something doesn't become a trend later. He's a productive guy when he's out there, and hopefully he will do the things that need to be done, the little things that don't come with statistics that fans can see about going to the places in the ice and winning the battles you need to win as a hockey team. The skill is there. The speed is there. The end-to-end rush goal against Pittsburgh makes you go, wow.
Well, he's fun to watch because it seems every game he gets a breakaway. He had one against Montreal and almost made a spectacular play to score, but Carey Price held his ground, and Athanasiou didn't get the puck up enough, and he makes the save. But every game, he's got an opportunity like that, and I don't think you can limit his ice. I think he has to get more ice time because he's going to get those opportunities. And when hockey is a game that is literally decided by seemingly a goal every night, I mean, you don't see too many games during the season where they're just big-time blowouts. You got to have a guy that's going to get that scoring chance.
248-539-9797, ticket text 97136. The other question that, again, people might not have heard that from Ken Holland to TSN 690 was a question asked, if you, at the trade deadline, if you find yourself out of it or not in the playoff position, will you be a seller? And here's what he told TSN 690.
Right now our focus is on trying to put a run here together and trying to play our way back into this playoff race. Certainly when we get to late February, I'll look at the standings and make some decisions at that point.
He doesn't close it out, the idea that they could be a seller.
It's the prudent thing to say.
I mean, we talked earlier about which team would be more likely to, would you like to see buy, which team would you like to see sell if you had to choose one for each, for the Red Wings and the Pistons. And I said the Red Wings to buy because I think a 7 and 8 seed can make a deep run, whereas I don't think the Pistons can make a deep run with Cleveland in the East. It's not what I would do and not what I hope they do, but if I have to choose one or the other, given the criteria of our question, I went with the Red Wings. The truth is, when Ken Holland says you shouldn't expect a cup every year, paraphrasing, that tells me, okay, then we should reset the organization. Maybe it starts with him, but he should be in sell mode.
Well, the reality with this team is that I don't think they can make a trade to improve themselves in the short term to make a run at it this year. If you're going to make a trade for something like that, you're going to have to give up something significant of significant value. And if they did that, you're taking away players that help the team for one player that might help the team. It's not a formula that works for the Red Wings at this point.
All right,
which is strange because this is the first time in 25 years that you look at this team and you're saying that they should sell. This isn't a team that's ever sold.
I know.
Since the early 90s, this team has not been a seller.
All right, Gator, we got a call yesterday near the end of the show from a listener named Martin who called me out and said the following of me.
You're like this modern, old American boy that just doesn't like to do bad things. I would like to know, what is the worst thing you've ever done in your life?
Okay, what is the worst thing I've ever done in my life? And it led to instant feedback fun as people tell us the bad things that Doug has done. Like, for instance, bad things Doug has done. He took a penny but did not leave a penny till the next day.
How dare you?
Unnamed texter. From Dustin in Allen Park, Doug once wore his bike helmet backwards because his wife liked the way it looked. Another unnamed texter, Doug once called the police on himself for not waiting the full 3 seconds at a stop sign.
Mm-hmm.
Tom in Livonia, worst thing Doug ever did was wash and rinse his hair, but he did not repeat as the bottle instructions said.
Oh, no.
Doug once farted in a department store, walked away, and blamed it on his daughter. That's from an unnamed texter.
Is that true?
What's the worst thing Doug has ever done? He stole a grape from the grocery store, felt bad, bought the whole bag. Next one, Doug used an aerosol can other than as directed. That's from an unnamed texter.
You're not supposed to do that.